Hey, what's up, guys? I kind of failed to make a video before I left, but I'm actually here in Australia now. I started, I guess, 2 days ago. I started Sunday, which is Tuesday here because of the time change, but I had a 2 hour flight from Atlanta to Houston, and then a 17-hour flight from Houston to Sydney, and then I had a hour and a half flight from Sydney to Tasmania, and that's where I am now. So I'm here to play a tournament, and I'll just show y'all some of the clips that I've gotten so far. So here will be a montage of everything I've gone through. So now that you've seen all of that, yeah, this place is so nice. And then to top it off, like you saw in one of my videos of me in a car with a bunch of other guys, it's crazy because I literally met one of those guys on at the airport before we left to go to Tasmania. He was on the same flight as me, and he was like, "Hey, are you Addison? You're one of these guys' partners for this doubles tournament." And I was like, "Yeah." So I talked to him for like 20 minutes, and he was like, "Hey, we can take you to your hotel if you want to whenever we land." So I literally hop in the car with them after we land, and then I pretty much just hung out with them for the rest of the day. We went to their Airbnb for a bit, and then we went and played disc golf. And I just got done playing 2 rounds with them, and like they were so nice to be able to like take me in pretty much with their group and then drive me wherever I needed to. So now I'm actually back at my hotel for the night. I'll be staying with other people for the rest of the week, but tonight I'm here in this hotel. It's kind of cheap, but it's not that bad. It's definitely nice for what I paid for. I think I paid like 60 American dollars for this, which isn't terrible. This is better than like any motel in America, but I'm gonna be crashing here for the night, and I'll keep y'all updated tomorrow with whatever I do. Hopefully I'll have some clips on here. I'll be going and playing doubles tomorrow, so I'll try to throw in some clips from that, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow. So So I just got to the place that I'm staying for the rest of the week, and look at this is where I'm staying for the rest of the time here. Also ducks. And then I'll give y'all a tour of the house. There's like 10 of us staying here, something like that. But this is my bed for the week.
Can you do me a favour?
And then
We are going to hit the road.
we have like a little room in the middle. This is a bedroom, bathroom, another bedroom, another bedroom. So over here, for some reason, the older houses have their bathrooms separated. So this is where the shower and the toilet, or shower and the hot tub, I mean. And then this is where the toilet is. The So it's just I don't know why they just didn't break this wall and make it one, but and then this is another bedroom, and then I don't know what this is, but you don't have to go this way to get to the kitchen, but I am. And this is the kitchen. Very outdated, but I mean, gosh, this stovetop.
Yeah.
And then washer and dryer, I guess. There is like.
Addison, are you interested in going out for dinner in town?
Sure. There is a lap pool out here too. Sorry, I'm making a video.
Because we have to go.
How rude.
What a step in the
I know.
Nicholas Halstead, representing Four Circle Discs and Gingy Disc Golf Shop.
Woo!
Oh my goodness, that's what I forgot. I've never seen one.
my mother's
Mum's.
family.
Mum, grandma, like.
And yay, you got it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
Amassed by Baby 08 over the first 2 rounds. My feelings about the event are complicated. I had a great time practicing. I love playing new courses. Traveling to faraway places for my job is clearly a wonderful privilege. But for at least 2 months, I've secretly been dreading most rounds.
Hey, what's up, guys? So, sorry for the late updates, but I am about to leave Tasmania now to head to Sydney, and I was just going to kind of give an update on what all has been happening. I just haven't really been on my phone very much. So, the last update that you would have gotten is me hanging out with some of the people that I met from the flight. Next day, I met the people I was actually staying with for the rest of the week, which was really cool. I played a doubles event with a local guy on the course. We did pretty good. I think we came in 6th, or tied for 6th, and we did decent. We had a really good front 9, but then back 9 we didn't really do too much. Then later that day, I met everybody. We went to the house, as you would have seen in some of the videos that I took. We had a really good view of the river, and so I pretty much just hung out with them the whole time. Then on Thursday, we played 2 different courses. We went to a private course that we weren't playing for the tournament. It's a heavily wooded course, and they're not used to heavily wooded courses, so it kind of reminded me back in Tennessee. And then later that day, we went for one more practice round before our tournament started. So then the tournament started on Friday, and the first probably 6 or 7 holes, I was honestly throwing probably the worst I have all year. I don't really know what was wrong. I just didn't really feel like myself throwing. It felt like somebody else was throwing for me. So I had a pretty rough day. Throwing wise, putting, I did decent, but on this course, you kind of want to score high. In the States, it would be, I wouldn't say that it's a birdie or die course, but it would definitely be one of the easier courses, so you're wanting to shoot at least 5 to 10 under on that course. It was pretty windy, but I had some really poor shots out there, so I shot over par for the first round. Felt like probably my worst round all year. And then, so I was a little down about that, but we ended up going to a spa, which I don't really know if it's big or not here, but they all really wanted to go. So like, it's pretty much just like a pool, and then they have like a couple hot tubs, and then like a sauna and steam room. So we all went to that and just kind of relaxed for a little bit. And then after that, we came back to the house and then just all hung out. And one thing that's like really different here is they like to really enjoy hanging out with everybody. You don't ever see anybody really on their phone. I didn't really ever see anyone on their phone. And then you never really saw anybody like watching TV. Like nobody ever turned on the TV. Pretty much these whole like 5 or 6 days or so that I was here, nobody was really ever on their phone. I never really charged my phone. That's one, or I would only charge my phone at night. But I never really needed my phone, I guess you could say. Never really. That's another reason why I kind of forgot to do these updates, is because I wouldn't really run my phone very much. It would usually just be sitting down in some random room just because I'm talking to people the whole time and learning their culture and everything, and it was such a fun time. So then on Saturday, we had our second round, and this round, it was the best weather we had. It wasn't super windy. It was pretty calm, pretty good scoring conditions, I would say. And I was throwing decent, but I still, on the back nine, I was throwing
to, I'm used to saying in meters now because I've been talking to them a whole bunch. I was throwing to probably like, I don't know, 35 to 40 or 50 feet probably on a lot of holes, and a lot of these par threes aren't super long, so I was having a lot of like circle two putts, and I just wasn't parking the holes. So the back nine I threw really well. It's just I wasn't putting myself super close, so I could have shot a really good round, but my second round was the second best round that I had. So I was at least starting to play decent. So then later that night we got some food, and then we actually went out for the night. And one thing that was really cool about that night is we went to this kind of arcade slash bar place, and all the arcade machines are pretty much, or I guess it's like an old video game store. So like games from the 90s and 2000s were there. So like you had PlayStation, and then you had some like, some of like the shooting games or whatever that they would have in like arcade rooms or whatever. And so we went to that place, and all those games were free, and we were just hanging out. There were quite a bit of people there. There were a lot of people out that night in Hobart, and I ended up meeting a guy there, which was really cool. Like, this is kind of explains their culture a little bit. Is I met this guy there that he was also playing in the tournament, and I talked to him for probably like an hour and a half, and they're so genuine here. I feel like whenever you talk to people, it's like they really listen to you, and they actually care about what you're saying, and then you could just tell in their like demeanor. Like this guy, after I got in talking to him, it just felt like we were best friends already. And they're all so nice. Like whenever you're walking on the street, you might walk by somebody and you might start cracking jokes with the person right next to you. That's what happened half the time with the people I was staying with. We would just be walking, and then they would just start cracking jokes with each other, and then, or you could just start talking to somebody like you've known them for 5 years, and they would just lean into it just as well. It's not like, I feel like it's a little different in America. You kind of go on and do your own thing. You don't really talk to people too much whenever you're walking, and I thought that it was just really cool. Like by the end of talking to him, I instantly added him on Facebook just because he was such a nice guy. And on Sunday, the final day, probably worst conditions we played in. It was a little rainy, and the wind I think was the highest for the majority of the time. So I started off well. 3 holes in, I was already, I think, 3 strokes better than I was the previous 2 days. And I was scrambling really well. So this course that we were playing was kind of a park style course, so there's not really much scrambling you have to do on it. There are some woods, but not a ton. And it's a very hilly course as well. So like I had some early on in the round, I had some really good scrambles. Like I was playing in the woods, and a couple of them were to say par or to get a birdie. One of them was a really good shot to get a birdie. So I was feeling really good at this point. And then I was throwing pretty well the whole time, putting pretty well the whole time as well. It was really windy, so it's tough putting in the wind, but I was making a lot of my putts, which was really nice. And I had one really bad break on, I think, hole 15, I believe. I took a double on hole 15 right after I had just gotten 2 birdies. I was 4 under up until that point, and then took a double, which took me back down to 2 under, and then birdie the next hole, and then bogey the next hole, and then par the last hole. But that was definitely the best round that I played all weekend. Still could have been a really good round. This course definitely had a lot of luck factor in it, as in rollaways. I had probably a 450-foot rollaway on one hole. It was a hole with like a double mando, and we were at the top of this like ridge or whatever, and the whole course is on like the side of this ridge. Ended up hitting a tree. It was on the first day, I believe. Hit a tree, or maybe second day. Hit a tree, rolled 450 feet down the hill. Thankfully, with a Mando rule, like if you pass the Mando and then come back across the Mando again, it's technically a missed Mando, kind of a weird rule. So I got to throw from the drop zone, thankfully, so I didn't have to throw all the way from down there or rethrow. But I definitely saw a lot of rollways on this course, which was kind of unfortunate. But last night was the last night that I had here, and we pretty much just all hung out at this like kind of Airbnb hotel-ish type. It's like this mansion. We have 10 people here, and it was so cool last night. We were down there for probably 5 hours, and I would say 3.5 of the hours we were just all there just talking. If we were probably down there longer than that, honestly. But like 3.5 hours, just all of us were just down there talking. Nobody on their phone, like at all. And then I ended up bringing a game with me called Just One, and then we ended up playing that for about the last hour and a half. And that whole experience was just cool. I was telling them I don't really know if I've ever really had that experience before, to where we have a whole group of people just sitting around talking, and like not one person is on their phone, and just conversations just constantly going. It's not like there's any downtime. Honestly, people were talking over each other the whole 3 hours. So so it was definitely a good time. I definitely wish that I could come travel here more often, but this is the first half of my trip. I'll probably make this into 2 videos because I know this part of the video is probably gonna be a little long, so I'll probably make this a 2-part. I'm going to be flying out here in a little bit to go back to Sydney, and then I'll be flying up to Brisbane to stay with one of my friends. So I'll make a separate video for that. But yeah, I definitely recommend a lot of people, if you don't mind traveling pretty far. But this place is really nice. I enjoy their culture quite a lot. But I guess that I'll probably end it with maybe a video flying off, but stay tuned for the next part of the video, me being in Brisbane and Sydney. So yeah, I'll keep y'all updated. Thanks for watching.